Hello, everybody. Happy flippin' Friday. Uh, I'm Ken with Ken Knows Gambling. There's my $10 that I had swapped because I threw it on the floor. Um, we did 2 sessions yesterday, 22, 23. I believe is what we did. So we're going to be cooking for number 24 today. I just got through watching John, and everybody knew I was going to do the follow-up video. Have no choice, right? John was explaining the retirement plan, and for the most part, he's how he analyzed it. He's not wrong. Okay, he did a pretty good job of explaining it. I wanted to expound on a couple of those things, but the risk level, what you're going to win, what you're trying to accomplish, everything that he does on all of his shows at the very beginning, that's another reason why I do what I do. So you can look at everything John says in the mornings. You know, your bankroll, your risk, your discipline. I mean, you know, those 7 or 8 little pointers that he gives you. He's not wrong. Okay? And so he was sort of analyzing this, and I have to say, I think he did a really pretty good job on it. Now, that being said, I wished. Oh, that hurt the wrist. Excuse me, y'all. I wish he would have mentioned what you do with your money. You know, my whole entire plan, but he was just doing the strategy, so I get it. Wait, oh man! So, well, I got one more, I think. Okay, so let's talk about this risk thing for a second. All right, so it is true that this move right here is the riskiest one you got. And you do have to decide, you know, whether that's the right move for you or not. What he did not say is Waylon does not hedge. I do. He don't. And I'm going to tell you what John proved today. This is what John proved today that Waylon and I have been saying until we're blue in the face. This strategy has options. You know, John at one point was talking about, okay, you work so hard, you get it here, right? And then you're coming out, you know, with this bet. You work so hard to get there. It's not an untrue statement, but he was talking about do that. Well, why start it all over again? Take 2, maybe 3 hits. Guess what? That's an option. You know, he talked about a couple different things that you can do. Guess what? That's what me and Waylon have been saying. You take the core principle of what we're trying to do, and then you sort of tweak it the way you like it. So John, in essence, was proving, not proving, he was sharing with you a couple of his thoughts, which makes it options, doesn't it? Okay, now the reason why I don't, if you only lose 150, then you can come back with the 150. You don't have to, and he didn't mention that on the laddering part. You don't have to ladder. There's other ways to fight a loss other than absolute ladder. The ladder's there for you if you need it, and there's certain times for it. Okay, I wish he had touched on that. But in this scenario here, John is right. The 9 is open. You know, and he said, you're always at risk. Well, I don't know of a strategy out there that you ain't always in some kind of a fucking risk. Gambling is a risk. And so, since I haven't said it yet, this is every show. There is no strategy that is bulletproof. This one, everything will sooner or later get the nasty, unbelievable rolls, and it will go down. The best bet in all the world is never to make the first bet. Gambling sucks. This is why I say this every flipping video, because it's true. Okay? All gambling is a risk. So, he's not wrong by going, hey, listen, let's take 2 or 3. We already got this. And you can. I'm not going to argue with it. I think that's a recovery if you're only down a little bit. But my whole point is, and Waylon's whole point is, while you can do that, I don't want to risk this 150 any longer than I have to. That's the whole point why we take the one hit. And I know he had it where he hit a 9 or he hit something. He said you only make $55. That's not true either. He only played double on his 12 when his table in fact says triple. Alright? But by and large, he did a really good job explaining it. Alright? So I have to come back, and I'm sure Waylon will too, is here's where he's all right, and here's our philosophy, right? And so our philosophy is we don't want that 150 hanging any longer than it has to. So, for example, we'll just say the point was we'll go that way. The point was a 6. Yeah. Okay. And then the 10 hits. That's 15 there and 50 there. That's a $65 hit right there. 65. Okay, by hitting a 10, a 4. In this case, definitely not the 9. But that's a decent roll. If the 5 was to hit, that's a little bit worse because you lose the 50. You're going to net 20. That's what's going to happen if you hit the 5. You're going to net 20 on that first move, and then when you cover the 9 here, you'll net 25. So in that one, it's only 45. All right. But yes, you do have to look at that is, am I going to do all this for that 45? Well, the answer to me is I'm gonna, because I could get, let's look at this scenario right here. What could happen to me is I get the 12. This is the best case scenario for the first hit. You get 45, or 15, 15, and 15, 30, 45, 35, 45. You get 45 for the first hit, and then on this, well, let's do it this way. Nah, we'll keep it that way. And you're going to make 25 when you plug this. Alright, so there's 50, 60, there's 70. And if it was reversed, you make, I think 90 is about all you can make in a shooter. Okay? Now, are you going to risk all this for like 2 shooters maybe to get over your $100? That's a you thing. Right? That's a you thing. So, anyway, the big takeout from John's video I want you to know is this. You don't have to hedge. I'll say this again. You do not have to hedge that 150. Okay? If this is your first roll at 150 and it goes down, you're only down 150 versus risking a lay. I've explained why I do the lay, and again, it might be too risky for you. But Waylon don't. So that's my biggest take on this whole thing is you don't have to, number one, if it gets hit, if this 150 gets hit, you're only down 150. And it ain't 10 shooters to get it back either. Sorry, John. It's not 10 shooters. That's 150. If I got, let's say, let's do our 150. Well, let's say the point was a 6. Who cares? Boom, a 10 comes. Let's say we made 60 bucks on that first shooter, or 90, or whatever. And you get it right. That comes there. Okay, you didn't hedge. Let's just go through the gambit here. Remember, you got 60 bucks on that first one. 55. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Alright? Now, you got whatever you got on that first shooter. 55. I think I'll use John's 55. Alright? The 4 hits. There's 15 plus 50. Now remember, we're going to put $55. That's what John won the first time, which it's the numbers that he hit. It would have been more than 55, but I'm using this 55. That's what he already won, is over here, right? The 4 hits, bang, bang. Okay, let's put this over here. Let's put this over here. Let's bring all of it down. This is what confused me a little bit. Bring all that down. Okay, now I plug that for 100. Alright. That gets plugged for 100. I'm going to win 50 bucks either way. It just doesn't matter. Either way. So let's add my 50. Alright, then you put all this back to the bank. So at the end of 2 shooters, there's 100, there's 150, 160, 170. Go home. You can get out of there in 2 shooters if you get right. Now, if you get a bunch of cheapies, yep. Because on 6s and 8s, the best that you can do on a 6 and 8, let's say this is what it looks like. Like so. Alright, and 8 hits. Well, you lose the 15, you get 35. That's a $20 net on 6s and 8s. I hate them, but it's just the way it is. And then you're plugging the 150. I'm sorry. We'll say it was a 6. Same thing, except your 150 is on the 8. Let's say. So the 6 hit. Boom. You got a $20 net. Are you with me? Screw the puck, everything right now. I'm just showing you. It's a $20 hit. Then you're going to plug it with 138. You're going to make about $12 more, one way or the other. Alright, so this is the worst case scenario. 20, 32. Oh, I did all this to get 32. It's all true. What we're trying to accomplish is getting out of here as fast as we can. Alright? But really, bravo to John. He did a pretty decent job of explaining this thing. Close. Close. And again, you guys have all the decisions to make. Do you want to play it? No, I don't. For this reason, this reason. Cool. Do you want to hedge? For this reason or this reason? No. Cool. Do you want to take 2 or 3 hits down here, leave that 9 or whatever point open for 2 or 3 more hits? I don't, but if you do, cool. If you want to, what did John say? You got 150 here, right? And let's say you won 60 bucks on the deal, and like Jacob does, I'm going to put 30 over here. Now we're going to make this a 180 hit, and then everything goes up. Cool. See what I mean? It's got really lots and lots of different things you can do it. He did cover how I do, and he did it accurately too. The $300 lay here, and the 10, and I get whacked. It's happened a couple times. Now I'm down 300. He is absolutely right. You cannot grind that at $150, $60 at a time. 60, 60, 60, 60. You know, average, I don't know, 40 to 90. Let's just say it's an average of $50 between the two hits. 50, there's one, there's two. You do have to win it. If you're going to grind it, you got to win that particular thing 6 times. So he ain't wrong. And he did cover what I do accurately. I am not playing that game. Right? So if I lose that, and then my 150 comes out, I may not put another 3 there. I just want that 150 out. I mean, the 150 is there. I lost the 3. He's right. Whack. The 150 goes there. I'm gonna put that 3 back. I'm not fighting it because that is a weakness of the strategy. You'll have to open up way too long. I choose not to play that game. Let's get it back and continue. And I don't know, I've been hit 3 or 4 times. And he's right. Lucky? Yeah, I guess so. You can call it lucky. To me, it's just calculated risk. That's why you have the bankroll. And I don't think you need $10,000 either. Not if you play it right. Now, if your ways of playing are not like me and Waylon's way of playing, and you know, and you're just going to ladder both up, bam, 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 like that, okay, then maybe you do. But I've got 3, 4, 5, 55, 56, $5,600 basically, 56.20, and we've escaped 24 times. Now, more importantly, and then I'm going to roll. I know this is going to be a long video. Actually, just so you know, it's actually kudos to John for explaining it fairly accurately. I just covered a couple of points I wish he would have done. Other than that, no problems with what he did today. None. 0. Okay? What the hell was I going to just say, y'all? This is what happens when you talk and teach and you got all this movement here. I forgot what I was just going to show you. Oh well. Ain't that something, boy, when you get old, man? Oh, yeah. Here is what I was going to tell you. All right. The strategy that Waylon and I do is just designed to make a few bucks and get out. You can do that with tons of different strategies. You can use the don't pass spread. You can use an iron cross. You can use anything that you want. This ain't the only thing that you can play to get you there. It's not. Bunch of them. Headless Horseman that he mentioned. It did make the 20. It was one of Waylon's, a couple of mine, and then my 9-step blackjack. That how I do that. Very few of them make it that far. A lot of people worry about me, doing it right. Hey, if it loses, it loses. There's a couple of them that's lost 3 or 4 in deep, right? But we're 23-0, and this is the extra sauce in the spaghetti. And I really want him to mention this. Because this thing is designed to get a few bucks and get out and fill your envelopes. You're a retiree for whatever reasons you're playing it. Okay? So I should have $2,300 in here, $100 a session, or $100 a day. To $2,300. All right, I have now put $2,300 away. If I didn't have any bills, that's $2,300 in 23 sessions. In my fun money, let's clean this up. In my fund money, I have $1,525. Alright. That's $1,525. I can do whatever the hell I want to with it. If I want to put it on one combat. I mean, it's all up to you, but don't please don't do that. And then in excess, there's 15, 16, 17, 18, 50. That makes us $5,675. $5,620. I got a little bitty profit, right? But I'm not hurt. The key to what I'm trying to, and I know I'm rambling, y'all, and I'm so sorry, but the key to all this stuff, or one of the huge keys, is those fucking things right there. I'm telling you, talking about giving you more options. Voila. He talked about, let's say he goes, okay, you got your 150 out here, like so. Your 10 gets whacked. It goes there, and I put another 3. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 10 comes again. $750. He's right, and you could go, screw this. I don't like that. It ain't going my way. Take the $750 loss. Okay? Because there's just more than one way to skin a cat, y'all. Take that $750 loss, and then when you get back to your hotel room, give it back. Take the hit, leave, and because you've done these envelopes, put it back. Now you're fine. You didn't lose a nickel. Yeah, you can say it's semantics. I lost some out of my excess, but that's what it's for, or one of the reasons. And I still got $1,100. So, while on one hand, let's see here. What was my excess? I think it was all this shit, wasn't it? Hell, I don't remember now. But I think you get the idea. It's a thinking man's game, isn't it? Alright, so anyway, bottom line, thank you, John, for doing that. I think you did a good job explaining it for the most part. Now I just wanted to expound on it, and it took me probably 30 minutes to do it. Alright, now we're going session number 24. Here we go. Oh, by the way, for you Baccarat people, I put a Baccarat video out. I'm using that Loom where I can do my screen. And I'm calling it the KKG Hybrid. Go look at that. It's not too bad. Alright, here we go. Let's go for session number 24. Alright, 7. And he did explain the don't pass, don't come. He did a good job. Bravo, John! There's 2 7s in a row. There's what we're talking about. There's 2 whacks down there. There's a 9. Alright, now we're going to come out with our 150. And watch this. I love hedging. But I don't have to. There's been many times in 23 sessions that I didn't hedge. And you don't have to. This is Waylon's way. Right here. No hedge. There's the 3. I'm sorry it worked out this way, y'all. Because that's going to happen too. But if I would have hedged, I'd have just put it back. Alright. We got the 3. $150. Goodbye. It's over my 100. It's under 200 of my goal, but that was so easy. I'm like, you know what? I want to go play golf. Whatever. You're retired. You're doing it for supplemental income. Go away. And that's what I'm going to do since this video is so long. I'm going to take the 150 win. Oh, too, he mentioned VIGs. And I don't know, he didn't mention this. I do pay the VIG. I just pay him at the end. I will pay him. John. Just so you know. All right. So we're going to take the 150 win. We're going to get our envelopes back. We're going to get our $100 for our per day or our whatever we're doing per session. And I'm just going to split excess with fun. You know? It's Friday, say my trip is over or whatever. You're 24-0. I don't care how you slice it. But remember, I'm not defending what he said. The risk is real. It's just what we try to do is cut the risk from unhedged. You've got 8 ways to lose here. 30, it's like 22%. You know, so let's call it 78% chance of winning. By probability, it's pretty decent. If I hedge, then I'm taking the 7 out of the way, and the only thing that can beat me is 2. Is the 11. Alright? But I still have 3 ways to lose the 10, so I've only reduced it from 8 to 5. Right? But without the hedge, it's 22%. Alright? Now the next move, depending on the point, I think like a 4 or 10, I think it drops it down to like 8% chance. So I went from 22 to 8, and then when I plug to 0. 22 to 8 to 0. Now, if you want to take that 8% over and over and over, go ahead. I ain't going to argue with you. I mean, anything he said, any tweaks he made, I will not argue. Okay? I'm rambling, y'all. Hey, thanks, John. Really, truly. I appreciate you. I hope your migraine, man. I know you were out for 2 days, man. So that migraine must have been a bitch. I know you didn't mention it today, but it had to be. 2 days and you didn't say shit. You didn't write nothing. You didn't do nothing. So that must have hurt. But anyway, that's it for right now. Long video. Hope that helps some. And until the next session, be great. See you, bye.